From Joe Biden's huge gift for cryptos, including Dogecoin and another country planning to adopt crypto as legal tender to all the latest data and updates, there is a lot to talk about in this video. So let's see what exactly is happening out there. So first of all, we are now seeing that after rallying up during the weekend, cryptos have now started to move sideways. While some cryptos are still trading in the green, others have witnessed slight losses during the last 24 hours. However, the good thing is that most of them, such as Bitcoin, Doge, and Ethereum, are holding around the support levels they achieved during this recent rally. Besides, we can see here that the overall market sentiment is sitting in the fear zone, which is a slight improvement compared to last week. So we can see here that the crypto fear and greed index is sitting at the 30 level, showing us that there is somewhat less fear and uncertainty among investors. Now the good thing for cryptos is that a new report is indicating some very positive things for the overall market. We can see here that Christopher Tyra, a top executive at Bitcoin custodial firm Fidelity Digital Assets, is saying that the crypto industry is mirroring the commodities boom of the 1990s. Tyra is highlighting that in the 2000s, blue-chip companies were hesitant to invest in commodities until the proper infrastructure was set up. And today, crypto assets are going through the same pattern of growth. And he is saying that we now know that pretty much every managed portfolio has some allocation to commodities as a diversifier. The setup that we had back then and the setup that we have right now, the parallels are just really striking. So this is positive news for cryptos, as it is now expected that just like people embrace commodities, they are going to do so with cryptos as well. And now, let's come to the biggest update of today. So we know that some people are saying that crypto should be banned since they are helping Russia to bypass all these economic sanctions. However, the U.S. Department of the Treasury does not see that cryptos could be used in a large-scale way to evade sanctions. The department has stated that crypto's share as a medium for illicit finance is not anywhere as large as just using cash. And as per Nellie Liang, Treasury Undersecretary for Domestic Finance, the crypto market is currently not large enough to run an economy on, and the crypto ecosystem is too underdeveloped to effectively facilitate sanctions evasion on a large scale. She said that at this point, we just don't see that it could be used in a large-scale way to evade sanctions. Meanwhile, we are now seeing that despite rising concerns about crypto crime and sanctions evasion, fiat is still king when it comes to illegal trade. We can see here that earlier this month, the U.S. Treasury Department released 3 yearly reports covering money laundering, terrorist financing, and proliferation financing, and all of which extensively discussed virtual assets. While noting many of their risks in these areas, the department noted that fiat currency and traditional networks are still far more commonly used than crypto in illicit finance. So what we are now seeing is that the U.S. government itself is ridiculing all these blames on cryptos. And this is really positive news because this news is going to spread certainty that no one is going to take action against cryptos. Meanwhile, we know that U.S. Senator and 2020 presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren recently filed a bill in the Senate that will prohibit crypto businesses from doing business with sanctioned groups during the continuing war in Ukraine. The law is going to give the U.S. president the ability to add foreign-based crypto businesses to the sanctions list if they try to help blacklisted entities avoid sanctions. So this law has remained a source of constant stress for investors, and it actually spread a lot of FUD among investors. But we have just seen this latest announcement from the U.S. Treasury Department, and since they have acknowledged the fact that cryptos are not being used by Russia, this law from Elizabeth Warren holds no value. Besides, many industry experts have been saying that Russia is actually not using cryptos to bypass these sanctions. Just recently, some industry experts told U.S. lawmakers that there is no evidence that Russia's government is utilizing cryptos to avoid sanctions. We can see here that Jonathan Levin from Chainalysis recently told the Senate Banking Committee that we have not seen any evidence of Russia or Putin systematically using cryptos to evade sanctions at the moment. So what we are seeing right now is that there is nothing the investors need to worry about, as there is no misuse of cryptos, and no one is going to ban cryptos. And with that being said, let's come to Dogecoin for a minute. So we are now seeing that after having a good run during the weekend, Doge has been moving sideways during the last 24 hours. Now the good thing is that Doge has shattered the downtrend in a recent run-up, and it is now showing some signs that more of these gains are around the corner. We can see here that it is now trading above its 20-day simple moving average. Moreover, its MACD level is also sitting in the positive zone, which is showing us that there is no selling pressure on Doge at the moment. Another thing is that Doge is facing strong rejection from the 14 cents region. But seeing these bullish indicators, it appears that it can clear it, and this move will allow Dogecoin to retest the 15 cents barrier. So although Doge has been facing temporary slowdowns, we can expect Doge to make a strong comeback soon. And now, we are seeing this data from Into the Block that is actually supporting this bullish outlook for Doge. So this is Into the Block's global in and out of the money model. And this index is now showing that the next resistance cluster for Doge is relatively strong and extends from 12.6 cents to 15.5 cents. We can see that in this region, roughly 250K addresses that purchased roughly 25 billion Doge tokens are out of the money. So a move into this cluster will likely result in minor selling pressure from these underwater investors. And it means that market participants can expect Doge to pierce this area and set a local top in the range of around 14 to 15 cents. And now, before I come to Bitcoin, let's see this massive announcement for Metaverse and overall cryptos. So a decentralized bank that will cater to crypto transactions will be the new addition to the growing list of lenders making a presence in the Metaverse. MetaBank DeFi has recently announced that it is developing a new platform to capitalize on the unique benefits of decentralized finance and to facilitate the development of simple and dependable digital banking procedures. So this is positive news for the overall crypto market, as the MetaBank is going to offer crypto transaction services. But I think that it is more positive for Metaverse cryptos like Sand and Mana, since more and more banks are now entering the Metaverse space. And with that being said, let's come to Bitcoin for a minute. So Bitcoin has struggled to clear the 42.5K resistance level, and it is now trading around the 41K price level as it saw a break below a key bullish trend line with support near 41K. Now the good thing is that Bitcoin is not only reclaiming support around 41K, it is also moving above its 20-day simple and exponential moving averages. Besides, its daily RSI value and the MACD level are also sitting on the positive territory, so these are some positive signs for it. Meanwhile, some analysts are somewhat bearish on Bitcoin, seeing its recent price movements. So according to an analyst, Bitcoin is unlikely to break above 46K soon unless there is a macroeconomic vibe shift. On the other hand, some are optimistic about it. We can see here that Sean Farrell, vice president at Fundstrat Despite, is saying that we will likely encounter additional volatility in the near term. And we remain optimistic that any dips for ETH and Bitcoin are buying opportunities. On the other hand, blockchain analytics firm Sentiment is pointing out some on-chain metrics developing behind the scenes for Bitcoin. The intelligence firm says that the overall supply of Bitcoin on crypto exchanges has slipped down to its lowest level in over 3 years. We can see here that there is 13.5% less Bitcoin on these exchange wallets compared to just 2 months ago, amounting to 1.6% less of the overall supply. Sentiment also says that the recent price spike in Bitcoin was triggered by a cascade of short sellers being liquidated as the value of Bitcoin moved higher, triggering a short squeeze. So this decreasing supply of Bitcoin on exchanges is actually a bullish thing for it that can help it achieve more price gains in the future. Moving on, we are now seeing that Bloomberg has reported that the Malaysian government is now considering crypto as a potential legal means of exchange to be used in the country. According to Bloomberg, the local communication ministry has proposed to the government that crypto such as Bitcoin should be implemented as legal tender. The deputy minister of the authority, Zahidi Zainal Abidin, commented that they want to legalize crypto in order to get young users to utilize Bitcoin for daily transactions and provide them with necessary assistance. So this is indeed massive news for Bitcoin and the overall market, as another country is now planning to accept cryptos as legal tender. And now coming to Ethereum, we are now seeing that whales drove ETH to near 3K for the first time in a while. And on-chain data is indicative of a pattern of whale activity surging in tandem with its prices. Over the weekend, whale activity on the Ethereum network topped about $8 billion, which makes it the highest level since February 24th. So Ethereum is on the cusp of hitting the 3K level again after a torrid couple of weeks. And now coming back to Dogecoin, we have just seen some positive news for it, including the latest update from the Treasury Department. So what it means is that Doge is expected to make some bullish moves in the coming days or weeks, and we can expect a positive rally from it. And that's it for today's video. If you liked our content, please leave a comment in the comment section below.